Okay, so today I'm going to run the second tank of fuel through the Webra Speed 91 engine, but this time the only thing I'm doing differently is that I had purchased some SIG castor oil from a swap meet yesterday and actually made up a gallon of 80-20 FAI fuel, but using the SIG castor oil. And you'll see here that fuel looks very different. It's clear, and I just wanted to try it out on this engine, since the very first run and last run of this engine was with the 80-20 using the clots that I just made. Thought I'd give it a shot with this stuff. So I've changed nothing else. Still got the same Zor 14.6 prop and the same plug that's in there, which I believe was an OSA 3 plug. I did, however, remove the Dynamix carb from the engine prior to this run because I was still having some kind of a mechanical linkage issue with pulling it to closed idle speed, and it's just wasn't wanting to close unless I jimmied it a little bit. So I pulled it off, and I think I have that fixed, but let's check it out on the run and see. Okay, so that was a really nice run. I think that Webra really likes FAI fuel. I saw absolutely no difference whatsoever in the way that it operated with the SIG castor mixed fuel as opposed to the Klotz. The only thing that I did notice was different, which is why I'm kind of doing the intro and outro like this, and my orientation was because I was going to point the engine in a different direction so it wasn't blowing all the smoke and exhaust into my house, because we've got all the windows open, so I'm blowing it down the street. But I noticed a marked difference in the amount of smoke that came out. Now granted, I was leaning it out a little bit more, but at the beginning of the run it had basically the exact same high-speed needle settings, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it in the video at all, but there was a marked decrease in smoke based on that SIG FAI or SIG based oil and the FAI fuel. So that was kind of interesting. I still have some issues with the mechanical linkage when I'm going to idle speed. As you'll see in the video, I had to use a little screwdriver to kind of overcome the mechanical difficulties, and I think part of that is the orientation of the throttle arm, the screw that's on it. I don't think the screw that's on it is stock, and I think I mentioned in another video that it doesn't look like it's got all the right hardware, the original hardware, so I may just have to play with that some more. But I did manage to get it down to a reasonable low speed RPM of 3,300 or something like that. It seemed to want to sit there fine, and keep in mind this is only the second tank of fuel that I put through this engine, and this engine just is spectacular. It starts easy, runs well. The other thing I did to the Dynamix car between the first run and this run was I leaned out the low speed mixture about 4 clicks of that little thing. You'll hear it click, 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 click. I did about 4 turns lean, and it seemed to work out really well. Now as the engine gets more runtime on it, maybe I can lean it another click, but right now it just seems absolutely perfect. So anyway, overall I'm really pleased with the way this engine runs, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video.